Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another edition of Parlay Busters of the Week. And in this edition of Parlay Busters of the Week, I'll be doing UFC Fight Night, Adesanya versus Pyfer. So, 3 Parlay Busters for this week are, First off, we'll start lower on the card. Ricky Simon is a Parlay Buster. Understand, we can look at a depreciating or potentially depreciating Yanez, but Yanez is still young, hungry. He's not that much younger than Simone is either, but when you look at who Yanez has lost to, it hasn't really been, particularly in UFC, it has not been a short, squatty, overhand spammer, wrestler, grappler. He has lost to long, lengthy strikers that, at least I think 2 or 3 had pretty good kicks. Before one good boxer, and Rob Font caught him. That was he got caught by a more experienced fighter. Like that sometimes happens. And the other 2 fights, again, all these guys are more so strikers. We know Rob Font's not a grappler; he's a striker. He got some grappling in him, but we would never confuse that he's grappling over a striker. He's a striker. And then Jonathan Martinez, great calf kicker, great kicks in general, great knee, great Muay Thai. And the legs are a weak point for boxers that like to use the jab a lot because they're gonna be heavy on the lead leg. So that was a bad Alex matchup. Ricky Simon has never been known for great calf kicks. He's a short, squatty guy. His leg kicks, his kicks in general ain't all that great, to be honest. If anything, I think he got knocked out trying to go for a kick against Uriah Faber years ago. That was when he got a rub. You see how similar to Yanez got a rub from Font years later. Simone got a rub from Uriah Faber because I think he was spamming kicks, spamming low kicks, not setting them up. And he got caught overhand and he got caught in the guillotine. So his last time he was spamming low kicks, he got knocked out. So that might be a trend right there. But that might resurface. But either way, I feel like Yanez has shown decent takedown defense, has shown good ability to get back to his feet. And he's the much sharper striker here. So he's not going in with a guy that's going to be this long, lengthy striker that's great at calf kicking, great at kneeing the body, and doing kick stuff that's going to cause him issue. Simone's going to try to go for takedowns. He's going to be very predictable what he's doing. And I think Yanez can capitalize on that. So, yeah, Simone is not the guy to be putting great confidence in and be like, oh, this is a guy I can put in all my parlays. No. Simone is very likely to burn your parlay. So, Ricky Simone's a parlay buster. Next one is, I think this is the most clear one, is Mansour Abdul-Malik. I don't know if he's still the favorite, but either way, whether he's a favorite or not, if you're thinking it's a kind of a pick 'em odds now, and then he'll be a great parlay piece for 1 or 2 of your parlays, or maybe 3 or whatever. Maybe 1. But even then, I would say, I wouldn't say none. I would say, if you're thinking about Mansour Abdul-Malik, stop thinking about him. That's what I would say. Hey, it's MMA things to happen, but I would say he's not worth risking your money, putting money on him. You're better off putting your money on Yusri Belgori. Mansour Abdul-Malik, when you look at his career, it really has been no real impressive performances. He's still, in my opinion, a very green fighter. That needs to take a different step. Maybe it's too soon to fight these specialist type fighters. Maybe fight guys again along the lines of Cody Brundage, who kind of all around guys, wrestlers, striker type people like himself, and fight guys along those lines. And maybe a Dante Johnson who just struggled with Brundage as well. But going with Belgori, who just beat a better, further along fighter, Osman Bukoyev, in a similar bracket, a similar style, similar strength. Bukoyev has better conditioning, he has better wins, he has better submission grappling, he has better striking, he's more developed, and Belgori just beat him and stopped him. And we've seen Mansour Abdul-Malik get clipped by Nick Klein, clipped by another guy. We've seen him get clipped by 2 guys that don't have really any striking. He didn't get knocked out, he got clipped, kind of a little stumbled a little bit, but he went on to get finishes. But again, these kind of lower level guys that are grapplers like him that barely have any striking, and he's struggling against those guys. Guys that he should have ran over. He got the finishes in those fights outside of Brundage, which was no contest of the headbutt. But he was again struggling with Brundage on the striking. And Yusri Belgori is continuing to improve his takedown defense. So I think Belgori can address the grappling, extend the striking exchange. If you get clipped by these mediocre striking level striking grapplers on the feet, Belgori can definitely do bad things to you. So yeah, Belgori, I feel like he's the clear side in this one. Whether that comes through or not, that's a different story as MMA stuff happens. But you can't really bank on a guy, his potential, he's going to show up and make these great improvements in this fight. If I haven't seen it in this fight, that fight, it's not like this is even his first fight in UFC. It's his third time underneath the banner, third, fourth time. We've seen him on a contender series. We've seen him like 2-3 fights in the UFC. So we've seen him underneath this bright light enough, and we haven't seen notable, significant improvement in him. And we've seen more in Belgore. So I think Belgore been addressed to grappling and can have a lot of sets on the feet, potentially stop him. So usually Belgore is not the parlay buster. Mansour Abdul-Malik is the parlay buster. So right now we got Ricky Simone, we got Mansour Abdul-Malik, and lastly, third parlay buster for this week is Macy Barber against Alexa Grasso in the rematch. Similar thing, well, not similar, but yeah, I guess the styles of the trends. Macy Barber, we look at her historic trends in the UFC. She's been doing particularly great against grapplers. Has not been so much, oh, she's for this striker in their prime and beat them. Like she's 5-2 against strikers or 5-1. She's really probably 3-2, maybe 2-3 against strikers. She's 0-1 against Grasso. And I feel if anything, she's gotten slower since. Like she's gotten stronger. That helped her in the grappling department. But to be the person like Grasso, you gotta be a little bit more technical. You gotta be a little bit quicker. Not to say that again, it's stuff can happen. It's not like it's Grosso's a lock. But I just feel like people putting too much confidence in Macy Barber for just momentum, really. When sometimes even greater than momentum is styles. Matter of fact, more times than often, style is greater than momentum. Because a guy could be on momentum, like who could be on momentum, and then he go on a guy that's got good takedown defense and striking, and you get knocked out, like he did against Hernandez. Like styles are greater than momentum. Like, so you can be having momentum in the world, and you just got a guy that is a disaster matchup for you. Like avoid this guy at all costs unless you make the adjustments to deal with that mismatch or whatever. But yeah, this is not no great mismatch. But again, when you look at trends, even when you look at the strikers that the strikers that Barber has beat. She's beat Chukagian after Chukagian had a kid and was out for like a year and came back and just wanted to see if she still had it. Yeah, just wanted to see if she still had it. And she wasn't training like she used to train. Again, had a kid, stopped doing all the extra things and stuff. So she had a lot of things against her. It's still like she still didn't have no super great performance against her. Jessica I didn't have no super great performance. And Jessica I was retiring. Chukagian was retiring. That's like the only two strikers she's really beat along this streak. She struggled with Miranda Maverick in the striking department at the beginning of this streak she's currently on and got a questionable split decision victory. Other than that, she's done phenomenal against grappling. Like she's been able to address the grappling, and then when she started to connect them, they started to whelp. But now she's going there with still a fighter in Grasso. People, writing off in here for whatever reason. But she's went out there, had a win over Valentina Shevchenko, became champion, then draw, then lost. But even when you look at really just two of those three fights, the win and the draw, she put on a much better performance than Weili Zhang did. Even in the third fight, she did better than Weili Zhang did. Weili Zhang is like the top 3 pound right now as far as active women's fighters, and probably all time, probably top 4, top 3 all time women's MMA fighters. So, and Valentina Shevchenko schooled her. So it's really not that big of a bad thing to say, oh, I had that type of performance against Shevchenko. Like pretty much most people right now are going to have that type of performance against her, or worse. So you can't really count that against her. And then she just went with a quicker, sharper Natalia Silva. And again, right now, Macy Barber has been slowing down. She's been putting more power behind her punches and putting more size, putting mass on her. But that's going to slow her down, and Grosso's going to be able to be quicker, be sharper, and be able to beat her to the punch and avoid the big shots coming back. And even the grappling, Grosso might be the better grappler here, but I feel like more things going to be Grosso's going to be quicker and sharper, and that's what was her advantage in their first fight, and that will be her advantage, I think, even more so in this fight, as long as her confidence isn't shaking the body lost. But I don't think so. Like Grosso has lost before, and if anything, she's hungry to break this streak of losses. And I think this match is a will for her. It also puts her back in that mode where she's an underdog, and people are counting her out, so that you expect Grosso that's going to be fired up a bit in a good way. And I can see Grosso doing a good job of dealing with the grappling of Macy Barber. And again, having a better box and landing cleaner shots and getting out of there when the big follow-up, the big responsive shots come back from Macy Barber. I think competitive scrap, but I think, Grasso is very live, and really the Lions aren't respecting her as they should respect her. Not saying that she has to be the favorite, but they all are like a 2-1 dog last I checked. So that's real dumb. So yeah, Macy Barber, parlay buster. Wrap it up. Let me say the 3 dogs. I mean, not 3 dogs, but 3 parlay busters. Not the dogs, but the 3 parlay busters are for this week for my channel. are Ricky Simone, Mansour Abdul Malik, and thirdly, Alexa Grasso. And those are my parlay busters for the week. So that concludes that concludes the video for parlay busters for UFC Fight Night, Adesanya versus Pyfer. And as always, thanks for watching. Peace.